Yeah, of course. Hello, everyone. Hello, hello, hello. Look how I'm sitting here on my tulip throne. It's really a tulip throne at this moment. So hopefully you can all see and hear me already. And I see hi, Stefan. So assume I assume you can all see me. So it's there are tulips everywhere. So let me know if you can see and hear me right now, and if you can see all these beautiful flowers, because of course that is a lot better than my face. So, but I wanna welcome everyone. I just had a little bit of troubles of getting online, but I'm there right now. So welcome everyone. We're almost ready to go. And I'm sitting here literally. I have the best place in this boat because I am literally surrounded by tulips, real tulips. These are not plastic ones. That's good to know. And they are in all kind of colors. So we have, as you can see, there are yellow ones, there are red and white ones, there are red ones, there are white ones, there are deep red ones, there is very white ones. So, and of course, here just above me, also some pink ones. So they're gorgeous for sure. They're gorgeous, and they're also freshly placed over here. So it is, yeah. You just see me. You see maybe over here some water. That's because we are. By the way, we are already at a beautiful location. I'm soon gonna show you what I'm seeing right now and where we are exactly. So, but it's good to say goodbye, hello to everyone at first, of course. So, because we're still on the jetty, you see some people standing next to me. That's from uh, one of the other canal cruises, and I'm feeling. Let me see. Let me see. I think. Are we going already? No, no. Still people are getting in. So, and just to give you an idea where I am right now, on a beautiful location with a lot of ships behind me. It's a beautiful day, and over there is Amsterdam Central Station. So we are starting very central in the harbor with all the canal cruises. So a lot of them are starting over here. So it's basically on all sides there are ships just starting. And welcome, Susan. Hi, Tish. Hi, Satyam. Also welcome. Who do we have more? Hi, Natalie. Welcome, Vivian. Wow, Vivian. What maybe not everyone knows, but Vivian is, I think, traveling in some hours, and she will be arriving tomorrow in Amsterdam. And I have a tour with her on Sunday and another one on Tuesday. So I'm really looking forward to that. Hello. Trisha, welcome Cheryl. Hi, Fran. Hi, Susan. Hi, Catherine. Hi, Leslie. Welcome, Triste. I never know if I'm pronouncing this in the right way. And it's now going so fast that I have to go up every time because every time when I'm getting a new message, then then it's going scrolling down immediately again. Let's see. You're talking about socks. So I don't know. Is it so cold? Over here, it's not really cold. I mean, it is still the end of the spring. I think we're almost going now because I see the captain or someone over there just uh removing the rope. So I think we're almost ready for that. So then just to give you an idea, I'm just gonna change the view a little so you see what I'm seeing. So we will get a lot of Amsterdam shots today together with tulips. And I'm really happy that I'm here. I'm literally invited to be on this ship. So it is one of the canal cruise companies, and they have all kind of ships, by the way. And what they're doing, because it is tulip season, they place on the back of one of their bigger boats, because they also have a lot of smaller boats. They place all these tulips, and it's good to know if you're coming here and if you want to have what I'm seeing right now, then you have to book with Smitje. Smitje, that's the company where I'm joining right now. And look how beautiful this is already. We have Amsterdam Central Station at the back. I just can make sure that it is a little bit more clear. It is almost a palace itself. And then, of course, all these beautiful tulips just in front. So I don't know where all these talks about socks are about, but it is it is quite nice. And there are some other people also wanna sit here, so I'm just sometimes standing up so they can take some pictures with the flowers because there's several more people here on the ship. But they promised me the best seat, so I can stay over here. And there's even a bigger tulip here on the side, as you can see. So, and over here, it is a beautiful day in Amsterdam. Hi, Deirdre. It's a beautiful day in Amsterdam, so a lot of people are here for a canal cruise. It's also the evening before King's Day, so tomorrow it will be King's Day. Now we see these two guys over here with their orange clothes, but tomorrow everyone in Amsterdam, and not only in Amsterdam, in the whole country, will wear orange. So it is the evening before, so that's one of the busiest weekends that we have in Amsterdam. Or this year it's in a weekend. It's not every year in a weekend, by the way. Uh, wow. And hi, Susan. Also welcome. We have several Susans. Sometimes just good to them just saying like hi, Susan, and then I have several ones at the same time. And we're starting to move in the meantime. So, and during this tour, for the people that haven't seen me, hi, Nancy. Also welcome. That haven't seen me for a long time, or maybe even for the first time. I'm gonna take you around Amsterdam. Nah, this one is quite easy because I'm on a ship. I'm on one of the Canal cruise ships, and that ship is gonna take us around over the canals of Amsterdam. And yeah, we're starting here in one of the more central places. In front of us, the big building that is Amsterdam Central Station, a 19th century building that is basically built as the cathedral for transportation. Built in the water. Yeah, there's a lot of people don't realize that. But originally there was no land over here, it was just water. And they built this, they reclaimed land and built a whole island. And that is what we now call Stations Island or Stations Island in Dutch. And it is really a transportation hub right now. So the water over here, it's also interesting to know the water over here. If I'm just going a little bit back, and then you see over there, you see all people walking down and even with bikes going down. So, and that's because they're going to um, the place to stall their bikes. So under the water over here, there's place for thousands of bicycles. We don't see it, but under there they're parking. There's a a parking garage basically for bicycles. So, and look at this. Look how beautiful. Oh, we're going a little faster. You can now see the speed. We will have beautiful reflections too in the water, going under a million bridges, of course. So, and it's good that you can hear me, Mark. Hopefully, the rest can do too. So, we're just going to the other side. Let me know if there are any issues, but so we're going to the other side. We still have Central Station over here. Mhm. We have a nice separation of transport because here in front of Central Station, you're not allowed to come with with a car anymore. So there's only trams, walking. You can park your bicycle in the parking garage where it was just talking about, and all the cars can only come, and also the buses at the other side of Central Station. And then here in front, there is a nice white building. And this white building is part of the tourist information. And also there is a restaurant, a quite famous Amsterdam restaurant. I'm not the biggest fan myself, but it's called Loetje. A lot of people are going there for their steak. They're quite famous for their steaks. But as I am not eating meat anymore, so that's not the best place. Although they say they now have a good vegetarian option too. I didn't try it yet. So, and just to give you a little idea. So, look at this. We are in Amsterdam. Tulips from Amsterdam. I'm just going here. To the left, we have this beautiful church that is since very recently a cathedral. So Amsterdam got finally a cathedral. The Pope himself recently, just of course, he is now he died earlier this week, but the Pope himself gave us the opportunity to have our own cathedral. Wow, and this is Amsterdam too, isn't it? Tulips, water, and canal boats. Hello, everyone. Hello, everyone. Yeah. So I was showing you already, but I got invited to have this seat over here. Sometimes maybe people want to take some pictures too, but most time of this tour, I can sit over here just between all the tulips. So that's a really an amazing opportunity, I think. And in the meantime, it's also good to know that um, Catherine is also here. Yeah, she's hiding. She's hiding between the tulips, but she is there too. So she's taking some pictures for behind the scene and some video too. And Vivian, I said already, Vivian is traveling here, and the coming days it will be really good weather. So you're lucky, and I mean I can never guarantee good weather, but this time it is. Okay, Stations Island we had, and then we have more big buildings over here, and this is all new reclaimed land, more modern buildings. And then at the side, we have our famous Chinese restaurant called the Sea Palace. It's laying already there since the 1980s. So, and it is a famous place mainly for Chinese tourists, but also for local Chinese people to go. And I've not been there yet myself, so it's one of the other restaurants that I have to go to one day. And I heard, or the story goes, that they have robots going around uh, for your dirty dishes. So you can just place your dirty dish on a robot, and then it will go to the kitchen automatically. And welcome, Marianne and Michelle. Also, welcome, of course. I just started about 10 minutes ago. We're sailing for about 5 minutes now only. And we're now getting under the next bridge. Wow, we have one of our princes just above on the sign. We're going under the bridge in this yellow boat that we have right now. And I'm just going to show you a little on the sides. It is a bigger boat that's going over the canals, and we're getting now inside what we call the Canal district. And you have to imagine that originally Amsterdam um, was connected to the sea, but to get inside the city, you first had to go through some waterlocks. So we will later on go through the old waterlocks that are nowadays not in use anymore, but it gives a nice idea of where we are. Wow. And look at this. This building is a typical what we call Amsterdam school building. And the Amsterdam school building, that's a nice architecture style from the same time as Art Deco. And this is basically the Amsterdam variation of it. And this used to be one of the big buildings from one of the shipping companies. So nowadays it is a hotel, by the way. So a lot of these bigger buildings are nowadays hotels, but yeah, it is really, really nicely built. And of course, the Dutch flag on top, the European flag, the Amsterdam 750 years old flag, and the fourth one, I think, is from the hotel itself. It's too far away now to see. And as you can see, it is a beautiful day. Everyone is outside. You see some people sitting, drinking wine, waving at people in their houseboats. So we have all over the city these houseboats. Most of them built in old barges. Very nice in this time of the year to live there. Not in winter time. And yeah, this is one of these little pieces of the canals that are quite beautiful. Very calm. And talking about people, see, sitting in the sun with a Prost. I said Prost to them. It's like cheers because they were having some wine. Sorry that I was And even some people they're calling it's really one of these beautiful days that I always on these type of days I even love more that I'm living in this city. A lot of people are preparing for tomorrow when it is King's Day. And I'm sometimes going down because some people want to take pictures of all the tulips. And the interesting thing is that the Canal Cruise Company, they contacted me last week and they were saying like, "Oh, Stefan, you did with us one tour before on a canal cruise, and we liked it a lot. So we now have a boat with a lot of tulips. So would you like to come and do another tour? So you can just join on our ship, and we have real tulips because there are several other canal cruise companies that have tulips too, but they have fake tulips. But no, the ones over here are all real. In the meantime, yeah, oh yeah, just to show this that they're completely real. This is the bulb that we see over there. Well, we're going under here, under the next bridge. There are so many bridges in Amsterdam. Going on the next canal while we're passing one of the old towers that you can find in Amsterdam. And this one is, to be honest, a little tilted. And yes, the weather looks very good, Susan. You're completely right. These are the days. These are the days. We're sometimes a little lucky. I mean, have been very lucky this year until now. No, but this is interesting because this tower over here used to be one of the defending towers of the city in use until the 15th century and then or in this until the 17th century, and in the 17th century they were not the city was a lot bigger, so we didn't use it anymore to defend the city. So then they placed a nice part on top. So and it looks now a little like it is a church, but it is not, by the way. This is beautiful, isn't it? I was gonna show you again. Tulips from Amsterdam with a canal, with a tower. And this, by the way, also still in one of the more calmer parts of Amsterdam. We're now heading towards where originally some of the waterlocks were. And of course, again, houseboats everywhere. And if you're living over here in a houseboat, then it's still quite calm. Of course, you have some boats coming through your canal, but next to that, it is a calmer part of the city. And I think we're now waiting for. Oh, I found really a cute little boat over there. Look at the one over there on the side with the white part on the side. I'm not talking about the big one that's now the glass one that's now coming. Um, I'm talking about the little one at the back. Called, I cannot see the name. I'm trying to find out the name of it, but it is a really cute little boat over there. We are waiting for some other bigger boats. So it is, of course, these days in April, the it is now the flower season. It is the tulip season, as we sometimes also call it. So these are the busiest days in Amsterdam. And then in combination with last weekend, of course, Easter. Last weekend there was Easter, and then this weekend it is King's Day, and that will be tomorrow, by the way. It should have been Sunday, but we never have King's Day on a Sunday. So the date is on Sunday, but we never have King's Day on a Sunday. So that's why we are celebrating it tomorrow. And that means tomorrow that there will be about 1 million people coming to Amsterdam to celebrate, all in their orange clothes. A lot of people from the Netherlands, from other parts of the country, are coming here. And then imagine we have about almost 1 million people living over here and then 1 million visitors. So it will be busy. It will be busy. So for people that really like to have a party, I can recommend to come to Amsterdam. I did it myself a lot also when I was not living here yet. But if you want to have and to experience a calmer King's Day, then you can better stay out of Amsterdam. And so many beautiful houseboats are laying over here. And to be honest, the ones that you see over here, these older barges are my favorites. And I saw a questions, are these live tulips? Are these real tulips? Yeah, I was just showing. I was just showing. You maybe just missed it, but let me see if I can get one again. Um, over here. Look at this. So they are live tulips. So that means every week they are replacing the tulips with fresh ones because they stay not well the whole time. In the meantime, we're waiting until we can go through the waterlogs. So that is in front of us. Just going a little over the boat, over the ship. So it is at the other side. And look, it's also a beautiful sunset. The golden hour that we have right now. So Amsterdam is even more beautiful. And yeah, it is busy. There are a lot of ships also now. We're literally laying in the line to get through the waterlogs. Okay, there we go. There we go. Now there's finally space. There's finally space. Okay. They're saying on King's Day you cannot go here. But now again, we're going to the waterlogs, originally protecting the city of Amsterdam. And then under this bridge to get into the real Canal district. So nowadays we don't use it anymore. So because we have waterlogs further away from the city, but originally this was the place where you had to go through. And then the interesting thing is, and a lot of people don't realize that, is that when you were, if you are going then through the waterlogs inside the city center of Amsterdam, that you originally had to go to a lower water level. So the water level of all the parts around the city was higher, and that is because we are over here under sea level. Okay, and then here on the side, so just some more nice shots of Amsterdam. Look at the tower. There's the next tower. And earlier that was a defensive tower. And then over here, this is a church tower. This is the church tower of what we call the Southern Church or the Zuiderkerk in Dutch. From the 17th century, by the way. So about 400 years old. And now I see that Catherine is sharing the name of the company that that I'm now using. So thank you for that. There are a lot of canal cruise companies in Amsterdam, so this is one of them, and I'm really happy that they invited me to show you Amsterdam and some tulips. And then here at the left side, you see this building here. That looks a little newer, and yes, it is a lot newer because this is our Amsterdam City Hall from the 1980s. So, and why do we have such a modern building here on the side? That is because originally this area was the Jewish ghetto. This used to be the Jewish ghetto, and after World War II, all of the houses have been removed. First, they were stripped to use all the wooden parts in the last cold winter of 1944 to 1945. And then after the war, when most of the Jews did not come back, sadly enough, of course, killed in the Holocaust, they had an open space. We had an open space here in Amsterdam, and then decided in the 1980s to build our new city hall on the same place. So, uh, and we still have over there the black stone that you see. That is a remembrance of the Jewish ghetto, the Jewish population that used to live over there. Then, okay, we're going a little over the Amstel River. We have quite a nice speed. And I'm just gonna try to get you some other good shots because we're going over the Amstel River. That's where the name Amsterdam is coming from. And and then here We see the canal houses next to the river, more people that are enjoying their time. And then over here, we're now getting there. There is one of the most famous shots of Amsterdam. I'm gonna do it for you with some tulips. We have the drawbridge, and at the end, we see the church tower again of the Southern Church. Yeah, there we are. So that was it. We sometimes call it the $1 million view. Now, why the $1 million view? That is because the um, the painter Monet, or Monet, we say over here, he used to be in Amsterdam for some days, and he painted exactly what I was just showing you. While we're looking over here, we see another tower. All have a little the same style because they had the same architect in the 17th century that placed the top of all these churches. But this is the Mint Tower. So the Mint Tower, the Defense Tower, the Church Tower, all looking a little alike. And then here at the other side, it's going quite fast on this one. On the other side, we have that what we call the dancing houses. The dancing houses, several houses in a row. And why are we calling them the dancing houses? That is because if you look at them, they're all crooked. They're all sort of hanging against each other. Without each other, they would most probably fell to the right or the left. And so it looks like it's a group of people that are dancing. And it's also because why we're calling it the dancing houses, because at the back part over here, there is a famous square, the Rembrandt Square, and that is famous for all the dancing places that are over there. So if you want to go out, then you have to go over there. There's so many tulips over here. Yeah, look at this. Look at this. The sun is going down. We have the beautiful river, some tulips. These are these postcard shots that I really like. And of course, the Dutch flag, red, white, and blue. We will see that also a lot in the coming days because first, of course, we have King's Day. And then next week, we have some other celebrations on May 4th and May 5th. May 4th is in the Netherlands Remembrance Day. So, uh, Remembrance Day of all the people who died in different wars, of course, mainly World War II, but also from other wars. And then on May 5th, we have Liberation Day. And then everyone is flagging. It's one of these days in the year. Also on King's Day tomorrow, but also on May 5th, then we are allowed to place our flag outside. And the interesting thing is the rest of the year it's not allowed to do that. Only on these 2.5 days in a year, basically. And then over here, the next building is still part of the City Hall. But this part is the National Opera and Ballet building. So it is connected to each other. So I'll be going here under this bridge called the Blue Bridge. It's not really blue anymore. It's nowadays more gray than blue. Um, and the Blue Bridge is called the Blue Bridge because originally it was made from wood and it was painted blue. But later on, somewhere in the end of the 19th century, they decided to rebuild the bridge inspired by Paris. So you see some elements that you can find in Paris. So in 1884, they built this new blue bridge. And then we're just going around. We have more drawbridges. We have the old Hermitage building, it's now the Heart Museum. We have a next bridge that is called the Skinny Bridge. So another beautiful view over Amsterdam. And of course, together with some tulips. And I'm not photoshopping these tulips in there. They're really just around me. So it's a little Keukenhof where I am, the Tulip Gardens, and I'm just sitting in the middle. And then we're getting on what we call the Herengracht. The Herengracht is the Lord's Canal. The Lord's Canal, one of the four main canals of Amsterdam. One of the four main canals of Amsterdam. So, and this is the canal, but more was the canal where the richest of the richest traders and merchants were living. So It is it is very big canal houses in comparison to all the other canals. Nowadays, most of these places are like most of these canal houses are in the hands, for example, from hotels or companies. So, for example, over here we have ING, so a big Dutch bank, has some of these buildings, and but also other lawyers, company of lawyers, for example, are now owning these places. But originally, the richest of the richest families of merchants were living over here. And by the way, it's also good to know that if you have a question about what we're seeing, just feel free to use the chat because I always like uh, to see give if I can give some answers on questions. In the meantime, there at the other side, you see the red sign. That's a sign of the Huis Wil het Holthuis, and that is one of the canals in Amsterdam, one of the canal houses in Amsterdam that you can visit. So I can recommend for everyone that's coming to Amsterdam and want to see a canal house from the inside, really in the 17th/18th century style, then this is one of the three canal houses that we have that you can visit. Wow, it's so beautiful today. It's unbelievable. It's not very warm, by the way. It's about, I think, at this moment, about 13, 14 degrees Celsius. So I never know in Fahrenheit. I have to try to think about it. I think that's in the 60s, 58, 60 Fahrenheit. We're waiting again for another boat. We're going a little over the bigger and wider canals. So most of the other bigger boats are also going over here. Like this canal cruise is even a lot bigger boats. And everyone is listening. You see, they're all listening to a voice. It's a little the same as what you're doing right now, only that is not live. So, Leslie, where did you see underwater bikes? I think I missed that. So I see just bicycles. I don't see underwater. I know that underwater there are bicycles too, but I haven't seen them. Some other people want to take some pictures, so I just want to make sure that I'm not in the view. Everyone takes their selfies, of course, Amsterdam canals, and then together with together with some tulips. I mean, on my seat, I'm feeling a little like the king of the tulips or so when I'm on this boat. Oh, and there are more bigger boats coming, so I don't know who has the right of way. And Robin, it is a lovely day for sure. It is a lovely. Oh, and I see Natalie is responding to Lucia. Um, or you are 20 minutes behind me, or it's a very old comment. So, but maybe I mean the app just updated, so maybe you're just seeing what I was talking about 20 minutes ago, or I am seeing only that. I don't know. I don't know. Look how beautiful this is. Flowers in Amsterdam, and we're just going under here. This is a sign because there's not a lot of space above us now anymore. And some of the canal cruise boats are literally built on the lowest bridge that you have that you have in Amsterdam. And of course, the water level can go up and down, but it's most of the time only 5 to maybe max 10 centimeters, not more than that. And over here we have uh, the next row of houses. Look how beautiful these are. It is almost like the Italian palazzos, the palaces, and the ones over here, by the way, are there are I think six in a row, six of these big buildings in a row, and together they're forming the Waldorf Astoria Hotel. And of course, the Waldorf Astoria, they have their own beautiful ship for their guests. So, but I mean, you're also paying for that. Just to give you an idea, if you want to stay at this moment, the Waldorf Astoria is still the most luxury hotel in Amsterdam and also the most expensive hotel in Amsterdam. So think about one room for two people for a night, and you're paying at least 800 to 900 euros or about $1,000 for just one night. So you need to have some budgets before staying here. But of course, then you're staying in one of these one, two, three, four, five, six palaces. So and then in the meantime, look at the next bridge. How beautiful this is again. We're in front of another ship, so a lot of people on the top of them. You can also see where we're waiting for. There's first a big boat coming from the other side, and then we can go through on the bend of the canal. And this is one, the parts over here are the most expensive parts of the Herengracht or the Lord's Canal. So, and Robin, yeah, my kayak tours will come again. It needs to be a little warmer. It needs to be a little warmer. And while we over here have the green Heineken Canal cruise boat. So I think everyone is having a green beer. But look, you can also see just behind us, look at the number of boats just behind me. Wow. And I have the feeling, by the way, that the number of that's the messages are really going through each other. I see old messages again and then getting there, getting back. And then over here, okay, we have another beautiful shot that I'm getting because we will have several bridges in a row. Just count them. Just count them. If you're counting really fast, then it is seven bridges in a row. We're not stopping over here. There are too many other ships, but these are the famous seven bridges. And in the meantime, we have, you can maybe hear it. I don't know if you hear it, but here and there you hear music. So people are already starting to party this evening in several parts of the city. You have uh, King's Day parties already. So a big, and it's, yeah, it's really our biggest celebration that we have in the Netherlands every year. That is King's Day. And also, let me just look a little back. So, wow, it gives such a nice extra feeling, isn't it? With the tulips here just placed, and then some other skips in the canals, and then the beautiful canal houses on the side. And you see the other yellow one that is from the same company. They have the so-called Amsterdam Circle line. So if you are in Amsterdam, you can have a ticket for them, and it is like a sort of a hop-on, hop-off concept. And the interesting thing is that if you come to Amsterdam, never try the hop-on, hop-off buses because they're basically not coming in the city center. They're not allowed anymore. So it is a little tourist scam if you're taking the one the hop on, hop off. But uh, so the alternative, by the way, in the meantime, over here, the second house, the brown house, that is the house of our mayor. Sorry, I was a little late. I was just recognizing it. But she's also living here on the canals. Wow. And then we have, while the tram is coming over the bridge, it's big building. It's an old bank building, a newer building, but it's still quite beautiful. Nowadays, nothing used for a bank anymore, but originally it was for a bank, and they still have the cellars in the cellars where the gold was placed originally, and you can visit these cellars. That's quite impressive, to be honest. And then we have some more palazzos, old palaces for the rich people. And what you can also see over here on the side is that there are some cars parked, but not so many anymore. So bit by bit, Amsterdam is removing parking spots from the canals. And they did it already over here. So there are a lot less, about 30% of the number that we had before. Wow. You were just seeing a little piece of the, by the way, the most famous lawyer for a long time had this place over here. That's the house over there for the Dutch people. At least for Natalie, you had maybe heard about Moscovic, the lawyer Moscovic. He had his office over there. And later he lost his job because uh, was using, he was money laundering. So he lost his law firm. And Sheila is asking, is the water cold? Do people swim? Although, because it's still the part, it's still early in the season. So I would not swim right now here in the canals. So uh, later in the year, you can maybe do that, but not in April yet. So, wow. And I know a lot of you haven't seen each other for a long time, but I'm always asking people just use the first part, the first 10 minutes of the tour to say hi to each other. And then later on, just focus on the tour, ask me questions if you have, of course. Uh, Okay, just getting a little to the other side. You see more beautiful tulips, they're everywhere. While we go over one of the famous shopping streets, or it's called the Leidsestraat. In our Dutch monopoly, that is the most expensive street. Oh no, not the most expensive, but it's one of the two most expensive streets. It's famous for a lot of some malls and some shops, etc. And then we're getting, let's see, I'm just gonna try to, because I don't see exactly where we're going, so I'm sometimes seeing parts that I recognize some of the buildings, but I don't know exactly where we are. But yeah, the most of the buildings that we see over here are all from the 17th century. And just to show you, you can see it over there. If you look at the top, there's a year engraved in there. Just to make it a little easier for me as a guide, it's saying 1665. So what is it? 370 years old. Wow. And then, of course, we have also all these side canals everywhere. And we see again several bridges in a row. Beautiful postcard. Wow. There's so many beautiful places over here. I sometimes don't know where to look, and what to tell you. Okay, and then over here on the side, I'm just gonna show you. There's a building. There's a building, and if we're zooming in on the building, then we can see there's a cat climbing up. There's a cat climbing up, and if I have kids with me in Amsterdam on a tour, and I'm always asking like, okay, can you find the mouse? Can you find the mouse? Because the cat is after something. And to be honest, the mouse is on the other building. I can zoom in over there. Look, there's a little mouse. So it's not the smartest cat, I think. Well, there's a cat and a mouse on two different buildings on the side. So, okay, just getting over here. Next bridge. We have in Amsterdam more bridges than they have in Venice, for example. Only the city of Hamburg in Germany has more bridges, and all the other ones not. Wow, and look how wonderful all the houses are when we just go over here. And I know I see Nancy is saying it's been a while since I've been on a tour, so it is. Yeah, I think you're not the only one. Also, for me, I'm doing a little less tours, and it's also has to do with the season right now. This is for me the busiest season of the year. So almost every day I'm doing tours. I have several guides that are doing tours for me, but this part of the year. So for example, tomorrow afternoon, I have a tour going to the Rijksmuseum. And then on Sunday, I have one hey goer over here in Amsterdam. I will take her to the Jewish Quarter, and that's in the afternoon. In the morning, I have another tour. So it is one of these months, and that's mainly the month of April, start of May, when the flowers are there, when the tulips are blooming, when people are coming to Amsterdam to see the spring, to see the flowers, to see the Keukenhof Tulip Gardens, and of course, a beautiful Amsterdam in spring. One of my favorite parts of the year. Wow. Some wildlife. There are some ducks just flying over. And you can see that this canal, the water, it's not really functioning like a mirror right now. And that is mainly because this canal over here is so busy. There are a lot of ships going over. So it's never calm, or at least not at this time of the day. We're going, by the way, over the canals from the eastern part to the western part. And the eastern part are the more newer houses, and the more we go to the west, the older the houses are getting. And I'm not talking about every canal house, but sometimes because just at this moment when I'm talking about this, I see some 20th century buildings, like the one over there, that's a lot newer. But a lot of the other ones are from the start of the 17th century, while earlier it was more the end of the 17th century. And we have some beautiful ones. And also look at the reflection in the windows. We see the golden hour of Amsterdam with houses with beautiful facades. And it is gorgeous for sure. It is. So, oh, and there we go. Another brick. A small one only. So getting, as I said already, and I now know for sure because I now see responses of the boats, the baby boat that I was talking about 20 minutes before. So I'm 20 minutes behind with the chat. So if I'm not responding to you immediately, or if I'm just responding to you 20 minutes later, sorry for that. It's my app. So it's almost a live tour. Talking about the baby boat, look at the baby car over there. And on the side, the baby car. And the first people again outside having music, preparing for King's Day. Wow. Okay. Next bridge. Have to. We're nearby. Uh huh, we're nearby Dam Square again. So or again, we're nearby Dam Square, the heart of the city center. So this is a wider bridge that they are restoring right now. One of the bridges that are restored that they have to restore because it's not in a very good condition anymore. That's why they placed this temporarily green bridge just on the side to have the traffic going over there. Because in the coming weeks, the other one will be closed. Wow. Woo. I'm just going to show you a little the other side. So looking what we're seeing if you're in the front of the boat. Wow. Amsterdam on these days of the year is magic, isn't it? And what we're basically doing is we're doing a full round over the canals. And if you're looking at the map of Amsterdam, you will see that it is sort of like it looks like an onion that's cut into two pieces. And we have the old city center and then four canals just laying around it. And we are on the second one of the four and taking a full circle to circle. That's on the right, it's called the circle line. And a full circle to get back. Wow. And the ship that we are sailing on You don't hear a lot from the ship, and that's not uh, because I'm muting that sound. No, that's because all the ships nowadays in Amsterdam, or almost all of them, are electrical, and also the one that we are sailing right now. The Amsterdam wants to become one of the first cities in the world with only electrical ships. So in about 2 years from now, you're not allowed to have a non-electric boat anymore. So what all the canal cruise companies did already is just removing the old engines out of their ships and placing a big battery back. And to be honest, it is so much relaxer and it's making less sound, and also the pollution. Of course, the pollution is not there anymore, or at least not from the boats. Because I also know to make electricity still, we're using coal, although we're getting more and more green energy. So we're now in a part where, again, more older buildings, more canal houses. We see over there, that is really a warehouse with all the big shutters. While some of the other houses, like the two over here, are partly in use as a canal, as a warehouse, but also partly in use for the merchants and traders that were living in there. And then in front of us, I'm just gonna show you again the side of the ship and the canal, some little reflection of the sun going down. You can see only the top part of the houses still have the sun. The rest is not there anymore. The golden hour. And it's really beautiful. There's another cute little ship over there. And then, yeah, if we go back to that 17th century, why are all these houses so big? Why were all these people so rich? That is mainly related to a war that we had in the 17th century, 16th and 17th century, with the Spaniards, and they were attacking us. They were capturing a big part of the southern part of the Netherlands. For example, the city of Antwerp, the famous city of Antwerp. And what they did after taking over, after taking over, um, after taking that, I see a guy that I know on this on the side, so that was who I was talking to. Now, after they were taking over the cities like Antwerp, a lot of the traders and merchants were coming towards Amsterdam because here there was still free trade. Here they didn't have to pay as high taxes as in Antwerp. But the Spaniards were taxing them too high. So we had a lot of refugees coming to Amsterdam in the 17th century. And the most of these refugees were extremely rich refugees. So that's why we have all these beautiful houses here on the site. And we have again the ones over here. Look at the years 1657 and 1672 just next to each other. Also showing that these houses were built not all exactly at the same time. So merchants were buying a lot and then building their house, but some of them were 20, 30 years later than other ones. So the one over here is even 1590. So 1590, 1627, 1657. So all, and here over here, oh, here at the side, by the way, we see the canal boat, and then look at the case. Look at the quay, and look at what we see on the case. We see bicycles, we see lampposts, we see some plants, we see people sitting outside. This is the future of Amsterdam. No more cars on the case, just people that are living, taking back the streets, sitting outside, hanging out of their windows, walking over the quays, just maybe parking their bicycle, but no more cars. We don't want the cars on the canals anymore. And this is one of the first canals that they made car free. And car free is not 100%. There can still come cars, but they're not allowed to park here anymore. They're not allowed to park here anymore. So you can, of course, take a taxi, you can deliver something, and we see over here a car. But the thing is, we gave the canal back to people that can enjoy their time. So, and this is something very new, by the way. So this canal was only like this for about 1.5 years. They will place the trees back, by the way. So the trees are not there yet. There's a certain time when they will plant them back, and then it will also be a little greener. So in the coming years, more and more of the canals of Amsterdam will starting to look like the one that we see over here. And then we're already at the end of the Herengracht, going to the side canal while the sun is. Wow, it is so beautiful. Wow, 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 wow. Look at this. Flowers. We're now going over the last part of what is my favorite canal. That is the Brouwersgracht or the Brewery Canal. And from there, you now can really see the golden hour. And from here, going back. We're going back to Central Station. And look how relaxed it is over here. And how beautiful it is over here. Wow. And I said already before, if you're coming back here tomorrow, then the canal will be even busier. So the number of ships tomorrow will be 10 times more than we see today. So it will be crazy. So it's good that I'm doing it today and not tomorrow. Because we would have hit a lot of other ships. Wow. Over here again on the side, look at the two houses with the big shutters, white ones and red ones. So we have several colors that are allowed, basically 4 or 5 different colors. No, 4 different colors only. Um, and these were typical full warehouses. So the most houses were party warehouse, partly a place to live. But this one is these ones are a little different. They were full warehouses. So from bottom to top, you just used for example, spices or all kind of other things. So, and the first people already look. I'm just showing you. I'm just showing you on the side. People all with a beer in their hands. So already starting to party for tomorrow. And tomorrow, I said already, it will be crazy. So this is the last to see again a message from 20 minutes ago. But yeah, this is so relaxed for sure. You're right, Susan. I hope you're enjoying it as much as I do. So and yes, of course, I'm doing these tours. I will keep on doing these tours. I'm not doing that as much anymore as during the COVID years, but I'm trying to do about one tour per week. That will mean today one, and then in some days from now, I'll do another one in the Keukenhof Gardens again. And I'm, of course, really grateful for everyone who is supporting me because, yeah, and, of course, I still have to prepare. I'm traveling to do these virtual tours, and I like to keep on doing them. And you can support me with buying me a coffee, for example, or using PayPal, or of course, traveling to Amsterdam. And I'm really happy to have Vivian uh, later this weekend and for a second day during the week. Of course, that is for a lot of you not possible, but I'm still grateful for all the support. And it can also be just like liking this video, because sometimes it happens that people are seeing my video on YouTube and that are then later are coming to Amsterdam to visit and then hiring me or one of the guys that is working for me, for example. And we're now waiting for the next part, and this is one of the busiest parts of the city. So we have to go to the waterlock again, and there are boats coming from two sides. So we have over here rush hour in the boating scene. So I think you can see behind here are 3 boats. Wait, I'm just gonna get a little higher. There are 3 boats behind us. There are several ones on the side. This is just one of the busy parts. And Leslie is saying, yeah, this is a fast boat. That's true. This is a little faster. It's also just a 1 hour canal cruise. So in 1 hour, you're going over the canals. And I think we're now going again There's finally some space. Well, the next one is already behind us. Wow. Yeah. And Natalie is asking, I think you asked this already a long time ago. Herengracht with one E or two E's is with one E. Yeah, see, they're over here. Boats, 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 boats. And everyone needs to go around the corner to the left. So to get through the water, another water law. And over here, you have the beautiful dome church, a reformed church that was placed over here also in the 17th century. Nowadays it's part of a hotel. So and these people are really a little stuck with all the big ships going around the corner. If I'm doing a kayak tour over the canals, I will not come here because that's crazy. It's crazy because you're so small with all these big boats turning over here, turning to get into the. And hopefully one of you will win the lottery. And if you win the lottery, please visit me in Amsterdam, okay? Then you can hire me. Okay, we're going to another water locks again. So you see the old doors of the sluice that can be opened and closed. So and then this was the part where the ships were laying. And then at the other side, there are some more doors where, of course, the water could go up and down. Wow. And and I see messages again from a long time ago. Or it's the chat today. I don't know where the messages are coming from, but I hope you still have a good time. Because parking bikes under the water, that was already an hour ago almost. So, wow. Okay, and we are almost back at where we started this tour. So this is one of the last shots that we will have with the tulips. I'm just gonna change the screen so you will see me again. You will see me again together with the tulips. So just to give you an idea where I was today, where I was making these shots, that was while sitting here partly on this throne. So I was only missing my beer, but okay, I can do this afterwards. So I hope you really enjoyed it, and thank you also for all the support. I will do on May the 1st another tour going to the Keukenhof Flower Gardens. So that will be for me at the end of the day. So that's the calmest hour. It will be hopefully a beautiful day again. But it looks like in the coming days the weather will improve. So um, I hope to see you again over there. Thank you again for joining, and I'm really grateful that I could join these guys. That I could join these guys and have you over here just between all the flowers. So thank you again for joining me, and I hope to see you again on May the 1st. And after May the 1st, there will for sure be other tours again. Okay, bye bye.